Yeah, Bronny James. What are we doing? Kid's terrible. I mean, he's scoring about 2 points a game. Some games they're having highlight reels of him on Sports Center. Yeah, he's horrendous. He's a horrendous player. You know, the nepotism is crazy. The fact that they are giving him so many highlight reels, so much attention. He was the worst American McDonald's All American. He's just horrendous. Like he's 6'1". He doesn't have the size. He doesn't have. He has some speed. He has some talent. He can jump, but he's just not a talented player. Offensively, he's way too passive, and he's not an NBA talent. He's like the fourth best option on a horrible USC team. Yeah, it's crazy. When did nepotism become tantamount? When did it become in basketball? This is basketball. This is you earn it on the court, and he's the number one NIL earner. I think that's a joke. Why? Because who his daddy is? When did this happen? When are we rewarding people in sports for who their parents are? Michael Jordan's son sucked. Okay, they didn't have their dad pushing every step of the way. You know, there was a point when they realized, hey, we're not good at this. They got other opportunities. Bronny James had every opportunity. He was born on third base. Like he could practice all day. He didn't have any financial pressures, not from the projects. He grew up a multi millionaire. You know, he had the courts, he had the training, and he's still terrible. He's still horrendous. Well, guess what? I don't want to hear about talent. I don't want to hear about potential. I don't want to hear about injuries. Bronny James has no business going in the draft in the first round. He doesn't have even any business going to the G League. That's how terrible the guy is. He's scoring 2 to 5 points a game, and the nepotism's crazy, and it's just sickening. There's somebody who really deserves it more than him. He's a horrible player. Uh, he's, he's just terrible at the whole game of basketball. And LeBron's propping him up, and it's comical. Like, he's not good. Your son is not good. Face facts, okay? Jordan handled it way better than LeBron did, and that's why, as trash of an individual as Michael Jordan is, and he's a terrible individual, he's a horrible person. When it comes to basketball, he is the best basketball player of all time. He never got beaten in his prime. Never got beaten in his prime like LeBron did, and he never had to go join super teams. He dominated the NBA from 86 to 89. He was the best player, and then he dominated the NBA during his 6 championships. Yeah, Jordan was the best. There's no debate. There is no debate. That's a media creation. And the fact that LeBron is allowed to go on Clutch Sports, he's allowed to own Clutch Sports, and he's allowed to own a agency where he's allowed to represent players in the league is crazy. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it's a huge conflict of interest. Can you imagine? Like, how can you be an agent where you're representing a player's best interest, but the agency is owned by a player of an opposing team? Yeah, they're letting LeBron get away with murder. His son Bronny James is terrible. His other son is just as terrible. Just come to realization, show some class, and just realize you're not a good player, and you don't deserve the preferential treatment. Bronny, if he was a stand-up person, he would step up and say, I don't deserve the preferential treatment. Dad, leave it alone. But he's just a puppet of his dad, so he's not going to say anything. It's the whole situation's foul. It's despicable. And the real media, these celebrities that get on YouTube, they're not going to talk about it because they're scared. They are fearful, and they're worried about their relationships. They're worried about their likes. They're worried about they're afraid to say anything because they're just puppets. So who wants to listen to these guys when they get on YouTube and they lie? I mean, I'm sick of hearing it. It's just a bunch of nonsense. LeBron James' son sucks. Kid's terrible. Stick a fork in him. Kid needs to retire. He's done. He's terrible. Horrible. It's a disgrace.